This tourist map is called Discover Queensland, and ironically the map does discover Queensland because it goes through the major regions, the major industry, the major flora and fauna, as well as being able to capture the violent history of the past. Even if it does it unconsciously, it does capture it with the men going out killing the wildlife. You see that this is a rough society. It's an aggressive society. It's a highly capitalistic society that is intent upon material advancement. The potential clientele to come to Queensland in the 1960s was, I think, the top of the market, because the material says luxury all the way by sea or air. These aren't people that are going to go camping. They're people who are going to spend a lot of money just getting here and then spend a lot of money when they're travelling through Queensland. So really it's the luxury end of the market. Well, it's ironical, of course, that they have a koala, because in 1927 the government offered money for koala pelts, and over 1 million koala pelts were handed in to the government to sell in that particular year. And historians now call it the Great Koala Massacre. And we nearly wiped out the entire population of koalas from the entire state in that 1 year alone. The other interesting feature about this tourist map is the logo Discover Queensland. And the Q of the Queensland uses Aboriginal motifs. At this time, most Aboriginal people lived on reserves, having survived a horrendously violent frontier. And yet, again, in the same way that the animals and the flora and fauna are being exploited as images of what's indigenous to the state government has used images of Aboriginality to identify us that's important. And yet historically these people had been exploited and suppressed. The tourist brochure features wildlife, fauna, birds, sea animals, and yet the other theme of the map is about development, extracting nature's goodness and exporting it and killing it. And so you have a tension within the presentation between the natural wonders that people might want to see and their historical exploitation. I think it sums up Queensland history in a nutshell. It sums up that harsh frontier masculinity that comes through Queensland history from the 19th century and really continues up to the present.